Cursed Deal is an asymmetrical co-op horror game that flips the script on everything you expect. It's not just 4v1, your role isn't fixed. You might start as a cultist, but die and instantly become a monster, hunting your former teammates. Think a Twisted Dead by Daylight where the killer was just your buddy 5 minutes ago. This indie title is currently in early access, with a full release planned for March 2026, and it's available for around $8 or just under $6 if you grab it on sale. Honestly, the concept alone makes it stand out, and the overwhelming positive reviews, 48 positive to just 2 negative, suggests it's hitting a nerve with players who actually get to play it. This game isn't your standard fixed role experience. You usually begin as one of up to 4 cultists, but the game dynamically scales the setup based on how many players are in your lobby. You could jump into a 1v4 or a 2v3 scenario right from the start, which is pretty clever. As a cultist, your main objective is to complete a dark ritual hidden deep within the woods. You're not heavily armed, you're basically relying on a torchlight and your wits to survive. Successfully pulling off this ritual is your ticket to transforming into a powerful vampire. But here's the real kicker, the game's core loop. If you die as a cultist, you don't just sit on the sidelines. Instead, you return as the Cursed, a terrifying creature like a zombie or a werewolf, and your new mission is to hunt down your former allies. This creates an insane, constantly shifting dynamic where the hunter becomes the hunted and then re-becomes the hunter. It completely flips the script on typical asymmetrical horror, keeping you on edge because your death just empowers the enemy team, and that enemy team might include your buddy who died a minute ago. Real quick, most gaming channels pad their reviews to 20 minutes. I keep mine short and honest. If that's your thing, subscribe. Okay, back to it. The atmosphere here is a major player. It's dark, eerie, and genuinely immersive. The graphics and animations are surprisingly polished for an indie title, really selling that creepy vibe. You're not just running through empty spaces. The environments are well designed, pulling you right into this cursed world. There's also a good variety in the creatures you'll encounter. Expect a mix of vampires, werewolves, and zombies, which means you can't just learn one strategy. This keeps you guessing about what you'll face as the cultist, or what terrifying form you'll take as the cursed. The ritual system itself is your core objective as a cultist, demanding specific actions and locations within the dark woods to progress. It's not just about surviving, it's about actively working towards that transformation. And that dynamic team composition is smart. The game actively adjusts player roles and objectives based on how many people are in the lobby, ensuring varied scenarios even with smaller groups. Now, despite the really unique premise and solid execution, there's one massive issue: the player count. It's almost non-existent. You're looking at essentially 0 concurrent players online, with an estimated total of around 2,000 players, and an average playtime of just over an hour per player. This means finding a match is incredibly difficult, often impossible, unless you bring a full group of friends. The game desperately needs a larger player base to actually function as intended. There's also some minor ground clipping, especially after using a flight ability, but that's a small technical bug compared to the core problem of no one to play with. So, Cursed Deal is a genuinely interesting take on asymmetrical horror, especially with its dynamic role swapping and fantastic atmosphere. If you manage to get a full group of friends together, this game could be an absolute blast for around $8. But if you're planning to play solo or rely on public matchmaking, you'll probably struggle to find a game. It's a fantastic concept that's desperately waiting for players. If this helped, drop a like and subscribe. See you in the next one.